Hi guys, so I'm Victoria, aka Pale Girl Makeup, and today I'm going to be doing a nice, hopefully sort of short, concise video on my base routine. So I'm gonna start off, we're just gonna get to the point. This way I don't have to repeat myself in future tutorials. I always start out with a moisturizer, and the moisturizer I use is the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer from HelloFab. And I have combo runs oily skin, so I like to use a lighter moisturizer. And honestly, I think lighter moisturizers are less likely to make your skin too greasy, and make the makeup not stick to it. But if you have super dry skin and you need a heavier cream moisturizer, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but the moisturizer just plumpens up your skin. It makes sure it's looking at its best before you move on to your makeup, because you don't want to have the dry dehydrated lime-filled skin and then put foundation on top of that, because it's not going to be great. So the next step is arguably the most important, and that is going to be sunscreen. Everyone needs to wear sunscreen. I don't care what color your skin is. You gotta wear it because the sun doesn't care what color your skin is. Go sun. But I use the Nature Republic Pure Shine Face Base in Vanilla Green, and this isn't marketed as a sunscreen, but it has SPF, and I really don't see another use for it. It's a Korean product. It's supposed to be a primer, or well, a base. I know in Korea they use those terms a little differently. Base is sort of before primer, which I guess is how I'm using it. It's green tinted, so it has the dual effect for me of sunscreen and combating the redness of my skin, which I don't love. So I use it. I would recommend more SPF 30 probably would be your base. Just any sort of light made for the face sunscreen, I also always before I go out the door spray my body head to toe with spray on sunscreen from Neutrogena that's 70 SPF. So alright, now the next step is going to be your primer. Now your primer is going to vary based on what you want for your skin. I tend to choose pore filling primers because I have some very large pores on my chin, on the insides of my cheek towards my nose. So there's 3 I use on different price points. This is the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. I believe it was $5. It's not super pore filling, but I think it's a nice intro to pore filling primers because it doesn't have that cakes up on your skin feel that a lot of them do. It's pretty liquidy and almost feels moisturizing. It's not the most smoothing, but it's fairly smoothing. Next is the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. I got this because that Ayla recommended it, and I like it. It's what I'm going to be using today. It's a little more liquidy than I expected, and I feel one pump is a lot, but once you spread it, it feels pretty close to everyone's favorite Benefit Professional, which is my special occasion one, because it's not cheap. I was kind of surprised by how expensive it was. Yeah, this is nice and sort of on the thinner side for a pore filling primer. So honestly I put it everywhere because I have pretty big pores, but just pat it into the skin, especially where you have those bigger pores. It gives a nice velvety finish too. Most days right now I use the Ordinary primer because honestly I'm just trying to get rid of it. It's almost empty, But this is a really nice one. I've only used it 3 or 4 times, but I like it. So that is the base done. Yeet. Now we're gonna move on to foundation. Now, I have a lot of foundations. My concealer and my base routine tend to stay the same, but my foundation routine will change depending on what I'm looking for. I might do a review later with all of my foundations and what I like about them, but I think that'll make this video too long, so I'm just gonna pick one. Which one do I want to use? We'll go for the Smashbox. That's my favorite right now. It is hydrating. This is in shade 0. Okay, I have carpet. Don't be like me, kids. It's in shade 0.1, which I like how they label them at the bottom. It says skin tone very fair, undertone neutral. I'm neutral, but I'm slightly more pink. So I like to go for neutral or like subtle yellow undertones to like get rid of the pink. Because I wear red all the time and I have red hair, so I don't like pink skin. So I just pat it all over with my finger. I don't use too much foundation, honestly. I just do like one pump and spread it pretty like thinly but evenly over my whole face. So you might be looking at this now and thinking it looks really yellow, but because I'm not applying a whole lot, it's fine. My roommate is very loud. I'm just gonna do a little bit more. I do like a pump to like a pump and a quarter because it wasn't enough on my forehead. Bring it along your jaw and up along your ears. And what I do is with what's left over in my hand, this is probably bad, but I don't like to waste any. Foundation isn't cheap, but I wear it every day, so whatever. Then I go in with my Beauty Blender or flat top kabuki, but I usually use a Beauty Blender because I find when you use a brush, you end up having to go in with a Beauty Blender anyway to like get rid of brush marks. So I don't know. And you blend that baby out. Blend, blend, blend. Do like little pats instead of like dragging, which is what I used to do. But that sort of like presses it into the skin more, works it in, and doesn't pull off as much product. Though on the wasting product side, I can say that is a benefit of the brushes because the Beauty Blender will absorb foundation. Which I found out the other day when I did that like microwaving my Beauty Blender thing. And I got this like really gross like flesh colored soup. Ooh. I'm sorry, my roommates are being loud. Alright, so that is my foundation for the day. I don't think this is supposed to be matte, but it ends up being matte on me. It might be because I don't use a wet Beauty Blender. Which, pro tip, if you use a dry blender, it'll be more matte. If you use a wet one, it'll be more dewy. So, I don't know if people knew. I hear that a lot in Korean tutorials, but not as much in like American English language tutorials. So now I'm gonna go in with my multiple favorites. I use this NARS Soft Matte Complete in Light 1 Chantilly to cover up blemishes, which you can't really see because I'm just using my iPhone to record, but I have a lot because I used to get a lot of acne. I don't as much anymore now that I finally found like medicine that works for me and have a routine. But when I do get it, it scars now. And then I have a little scar here and some burst capillaries right there, which I don't even try to cover up because I haven't found anything that'll cover them up. And this Soft Matte Complete is really high coverage. Like it'll cover up all my like blemishes, but just that little burst capillary, nah. You can kind of see it, yeah. It always shines through. I've tried putting like green concealer under it to neutralize the redness, nah. And then I go right along like the nose here because that tends to be where foundation doesn't apply as much, so you tend to have leftover redness. And then I just tap my finger in a little bit and I dab it on my nose because my nose is very pink. It gets very pink whenever anything happens, so just have a little extra coverage there. And now, the final concealer step. I use the Tarte Shape Tape in shade Fair. It's not like the most brightening color on me. It's fine. But this is from their like original launch, so I'm not gonna buy the new palest shade until I run out of this, honestly. Like, this works. It's fine. Blend that out under the eye. Also, I've had this for a while, and I feel like there's still a lot left, but watch me, like, run out tomorrow. I feel like with stuff I use a lot, like, I'll just run out and be, like, completely unexpected. Like, I ran out of my brow wiz the other day. That was heartbreaking. I've been having bad brow days ever since. Yeah, anyway, with what's left over on this sponge, I just sort of pat around, especially on my nose, like I said. Don't love my nose redness. And that is the, like, base part. Now, I always set my skin because, like I said earlier, I run combo, more on the oily side. But I use 2 different powders. The one I use when I want a little more coverage but I don't want to look as matte is this Kat Von D Lock It Powder Foundation. Honestly, I'm not going to recommend you go out and buy Kat Von D stuff now. Miss Kat Von doesn't vaccinate her children, but I bought this before that happened and I'm going to use it because I spent money on it. But you could just use any sort of like creamy powder foundation. I use a more densely packed brush on places where I tend to crease, so my eyes and like along the smile lines, and also on places where I get a little more oily or have blemishes. So center of my forehead, my nose, especially right here because I wear glasses. And I know everyone's like, use eyeshadow primer on your nose, but I think it makes your foundation like way weird. I don't know, it doesn't work for me. And then my chin. And then I take a fluffy brush, take a fluffy, not densely packed brush, and just sort of like buff the rest of the skin with this. Now if I want a more like matte but less full coverage, I'll use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. I can't show it to you right now because Boo Boo the Fool, that is me, has it propping up my iPhone right now. I use it in shade Fair 5. I like how they have different skin tone options. I think that's really cool because not everyone can use that stark white. I don't even like the stark white, honestly. Like, I tried the Laura Mercier powder that everyone uses. I didn't love it. I love the Maybelline one a lot more. So that is my like base makeup. So that's how I do it. Have some nice looking skin, sort of. So I might do a video after this on the different types of foundations that I have and what I like and don't like about them. Tell me if you want that, or like my skincare routine. That stopped my acne finally. So if you want to see either of those videos, I guess tell me. If you don't want another talking video like this, you don't love my winning personality, and just want to go back to like the good old iMovie words in the bottom of the screen one, tell me that. I mean, I'm doing this for fun, but also I want people to see it. So yeah, thank you for watching and come back on my next video. Bye.